Whoa. What's up, everybody? Well, geez, that was some work. YouTube. Wow. I would think YouTube had their act together, but that was hellacious to get this video up. I kept getting pop-ups to retake my screenshot, retake your thumbnail, retake your thumbnail, retake your thumbnail. It wouldn't allow me to post the video or go live. So Lord knows how many of you got a fashion show from, obviously, I am utterly the most fashionable man out there with my $8 Carhartt hat and my free Ronda Rousey t-shirt gifted to me from the one and only Ronda Rousey. Pretty cool. So I'm like dressed in about $9 worth of gear here. But today I wanted to share a very scary story with you guys that I recently had a conversation with one of my friends, one of my good friends, and we'll call him Dave. And I'll make a few small changes to the story, but nothing substantial other than to not personalize it to him. Now, Dave is not a client. Dave is a friend. And Dave is someone I've known for a long time. And Dave has struggled with his health and with his weight. And Dave has tried nearly every program you could think of. And even once upon a time, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, followed our program. And Dave lost close to 50 pounds in 3 months of following our program, followed our online program, actually, and crushed it. But slowly, Dave fell prey to Dave's old ways and Dave's social circles. Now, I'm friends with Dave, but we don't run in the same social circles at all. Never went out with joint friends because that's not our relationship, but a close friend nonetheless. Now, Dave's job is filled with traditional office drones that live for the donut cart and can't wait to hear what Dr. Oz is telling them they need to do to lose the 60 or so pounds they have hanging off of their bodies, non-functional weight. So in time, we saw Dave yo-yo onto every different diet program out there, which was really just an excuse for Dave to be lazy and overconsume. Now, Dave is a traditional American. Lean forward now. Dave loves pizza. Dave loves ice cream. Dave loves soda. Dave loves sandwiches. Dave loves to go to cheap little restaurants like Applebee's and Outback and all of those type of Red Lobster and TGI Fridays. Dave lives for those type of restaurants. Dave will meet his work friends at those restaurants on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday. That's where Dave likes to go. Dave has a good time there. Loves to tell the stories about all the fun things he and his friends do and all the nasty foods that they eat. And then Dave will starve himself and then overconsume of all the gross, nasty food. Well, as time went on and the age or the years passed by. Sorry, the phone's too far away. As time went on, Dave continued to gain weight. Dave was always a heavier guy, always overweight. Overweight in grammar school, overweight in high school, overweight and as an adult, and continuously added weight to being already overweight. So in time, Dave was diagnosed with prediabetes. And Dave was later diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. Type 2 diabetic are non-insulin dependent. And subtle conversations from myself and other of our friends who know Dave, we would have those conversations of, hey, man, you got to get your stuff together. It's not worth it. What you're doing is not worth it. Long-term health outcomes. You are on a very slippery slope now. You can redirect this path. But Dave and I live thousands of miles away, and I don't have responsibility over another man, grown-ass man's life. I'm not standing in his kitchen at 11:30 when he walks down and eats the chocolate cake that he shouldn't have bought in the first place. Dave has no kids, right? So Dave did get married to a lovely lady years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, somewhere in that time. I mean, not that long after. I think Dave lost the 50 pounds following our program. Soon thereafter, met a fine young lady who saw the sexy version of Dave and the beaming confidence. They had a little love connection, and fast forward, they get married, start a little life, and Dave's wife, fiance, then wife, loves to cook. And she says, I cook for flavor. Cook for flavor. Now, Dave's wife was a little robust herself and has her own health issues, even had the health issues going into the relationship, but that's out. We won't speak about her. We'll speak about Dave. So then I speak with Dave recently, and Dave said, hey, man, what's going on? How you been? What are you doing? This, that, the other thing. Is like, oh, I went to my diabetes doc today, which is an endocrinologist, right? So Dave has his primary physician. Dave goes to an endocrinologist for his diabetes, which went from pre-diabetes to type 2 diabetes. Now type 1 diabetes. Dave is actually taking insulin injections now. And Dave also goes to a cardiologist because Dave's got some cardiovascular disease kicking in, some little bit of health issues, heart issues. So, and I'll answer these questions here when I get done this story. I'm almost done now. So Dave says, I went to my endocrinologist today. I'm like, oh, great. How did it go? Are they able to back you off the insulin? And Dave says, actually, no. So what are you talking about? I said, well, when I walked in, I hadn't seen my doc in a year. Dave only sees his endocrinologist once a year for some odd reason. And Dave said, I walked in, I sit down, hey, doc, hey, Dave, blah, 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 pleasant, new normal, wear mask, world's crazy, beautiful summer, it's a nice day outside. Doc's going through the chart, all right. So how do you feel? Dave said, wow, I actually feel really good. Doc says, oh, that's great. All right, going through, all right, so you're taking 16 units of insulin per day. Dave said, oh, no, I only take 12. And the doc says, what do you mean you only take 12? I have 16 written here in my chart. You should be taking 16. Dave says, well, no, I'm only taking 12. I takes a couple units at each meal. 1 unit of insulin, for those of you who don't know, 1 unit of insulin offsets approximately 15 grams of carbohydrates. So if Dave's taking 4 units per meal, that's offsetting somewhere between 40 and 60 grams of carbohydrates per meal. That's the basic assumption, right? From Dave, hearing Dave explain this is just mind torture. Which means he hasn't been educated. The doctor hasn't set up any sort of lifestyle strategy and protocol. The doctor hasn't referred Dave to speak with a registered dietitian. The doctor really gave Dave no nutrition plan a year ago at their last meeting. Remember, this is the yearly meeting, and this is what you need to pay attention to. When I said this is scary shit, and it could happen to you, and it's likely happening to someone in your household right now, someone that you love right now. Dave is sitting in a fucking chair in the doctor's office, took half a day off of work to go to the endocrinologist, sat in the endocrinologist's office. The endocrinologist doesn't see Dave for a fucking year. Doesn't get Dave's blood work for a fucking year. Walks in, flips open a chart, says, you should be taking 16 IUs of insulin. Dave says, I'm only taking 12. Doctor says, you should be taking 16. Dave says, well, I feel great only taking 12. The doctor says, you have to take 16. Dave says, oh, okay, I'll take 16. Then what does the doctor say? Does the doctor say, Dave, you're 80 pounds overweight now. Dave, you've gained 30 pounds since the last time I saw you. Dave, what is your exercise routine like? Dave, what's your sleep routine like? Dave, are you carrying extra stress from work? Dave, are you going to the bars and drinking too much alcohol? Dave, can you tell me what your daily nutrition intake is? Did the doctor ask one of those questions? One of those questions? None. You know what the doctor said? So what are you doing this summer? You have any plans? I'm trying to just get some time off. I need a break. I need to go spend time at the beach. Yeah, I'm going to try and find a time when I can sneak out. I'm going to try and find some time where I can take a little break. I'm so busy here. Constant patience, my patience. Patients need me. 6-minute turnaround. The average doctor office has a 6-minute turnaround per patient, which means the doctor sees you for 6 minutes or less. They plan 6 minutes to learn every single thing about you in that meeting, diagnose you, script you, and fucking turn and burn and move on to the next patient. 6 minutes. Dave sat there with an endocrinologist, told the endocrinologist, their doctor, they feel good. At 12 IUs of insulin, the doctor looked at the chart based upon data from a year ago and said Dave needs to increase his insulin dose by 25%. Actually, it's a 33% increase. Does that make sense to you? Dave's doctor, Dave's specialist, Dave's endocrinologist did not ask Dave what food he was eating. Did not ask for a food journal, did not ask about exercise, did not ask about lifestyle stress, did not ask about drugs or alcohol, did not ask about sleep pattern, asked, got any plans this summer? Chit chat. Okay. I'll see you next year. Make an appointment at the desk. Keep doing what you're doing. Plus the extra 4 IU of insulin per day. In this situation, now I'm not a medical doctor, though my initials are MD, but I've worked in this field long enough. I've been around diabetics long enough. Our team of licensed registered dietitians work hand in hand with those that have blood sugar issues, with doctors and physicians and specialists around the world, that we understand the slippery slope of the medical profession. And many doctors run their offices based upon billable hours, just like attorneys do. You get it. We get it. A successful doctor is a salesperson as much as a practitioner. Now, there's great doctors out there, but this one was not. And most of the clients who reach out to us, who perform consultations with us, who hire us for nutrition prescription plans, they have very similar stories. I said, Dave, are you fucking crazy? Are you you said you feel great. And your doctor increased your insulin intake without performing an exam, without performing and analyzing blood work, without asking you what you eat. I was like, there's no way. She's like, no, we didn't talk about food at all. Nothing about food. Food never came up. Diet never came up. Nothing about food came up. Nothing about my lifestyle came up. Nothing about my exercise came up. Nothing came up. Dave stepped on the scale. Dave gained a shit ton of weight since last year. Because YOLO, right? Quarantine 15. Dave was already sedentary. Dave's been ordering pizzas and getting shipped orders delivered to his house. Eating a bag of potato chips every night. So, What this video is about, ladies and gentlemen, this is about you becoming accountable. You telling your doctor what you want done. Doc, I want to be healthy. Doc, I don't want to take medicine. I don't want prescription drugs unless medically necessary. If your doctor doesn't ask you about your food, ask you what you eat, if your doctor doesn't talk to you about exercise or sleep or stress management, is that the doctor you want looking after your health? Because clearly they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right? The doctor saw that David gained almost 30 pounds in a year. I got to imagine he saw it on his chart because Dave stepped on the scale. The doc didn't say, wait a minute, you put on 30 pounds in the last year. Oh, no, motherfucker. Doc didn't do anything like that. Doc upped the insulin, talked about summer, chit-chatted about his own personal bullshit fantasies of going on vacation, and walked out the door. So, guys, don't let this happen to you. Be in charge. You pay your doctor. You pay your doctor. You have someone coming in to paint your house, to build a deck. You're going to tell them what you want, right? They're going to tell you how it has to be done to best practice and proper standards. You're going to rely on them for their expertise. But if you have someone that is so apathetic about you and is not asking the questions, doesn't sit there and lean forward and look you in the eye and listen when you speak, someone who does not drill down into your life, that's not someone you want to work with, right? So make sure when you pick your professional consultants, you make sure you pick professional consultants that are at the highest level of care and compassion and education and experience. But there are far too many Daves out there, ladies and gentlemen, and many of you who are a part of this channel, you have a little Dave in you too. So what I strongly suggest is each and every one of you make a phone call to your doctor, to your primary care physician. You get that scheduled wellness check done. You get that yearly checkup done. You get your blood panel done and start there. And every time you talk to your doctor, it's an interview. You're interviewing them. Every interaction you have with your doctor, you have with your their office, their front office, you're interviewing them. They are an independent contractor who has to work to keep your business. You are Bill Gates. You are Dana White. You are the president of your corporation. And you're going to let one of these frauds tinker around in your health? No. So take this for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It all goes, and I don't even blame the doctor, because the doctor's just some fucking thumb dick asshole that's running around trying to cover their Mercedes payment and pay for their lake house. All professions have thumb dick assholes running around. Find the rarity, find the pink unicorn in every field who actually cares about you and is competent to help you. Let me answer some questions here real quick. Zach C, F-U Zach C, Ryan. What's up, Ryan? Killing the game. We're trying our best. You know that. Zach, how long do you think a fighter should take off after a KO? I think Benavidez came back way too soon for his rematch title fight and got hurt by a shot that only hurt him because it came back too soon. I would say a year, a solid year. I'd say 6 months, no contact. 6 months, no contact. And that's as much from anecdotal experience than anything else. I'm very aware of the medical data, but this is the experience of a guy who's in the gym, who spent 25 years, 30 years in combat sports. I started wrestling when I was 13 years old. There's lots of concussions in wrestling, lots of throws, lots of slams. Started boxing when I was 15, So I'd say a minimum of 6 months, no contact. That for sure. I'd say it's a year, easy a year. Jesse Lee sent my 6-sentence resume on Facebook because I don't have Instagram. Jesse, I appreciate that, my friend. I will look at that. Thank you. Nick L had dental surgery, need to be on soft food diet for a few days, had blended breakfast bowl. Any ideas on how to get good meals blended? I look for some soups, Nick. There's lots of great soups out there. We have awesome recipes, soup recipes and different types of stews. Our vegan chili is pretty fucking bomb. You can actually, you can make that and maybe mash that or blend that down. Those would be some great suggestions I have. There's lots of really good soup options out there. Amy's has a good soup brand. Alexander says, can you save Gastelum? That guy could be so much better. I love KG, man. We're still close friends. We still do rap back and forth. It's hard to say. I do think he's fighting above his weight class. I think KG should be 170 for sure. The guys at 85, they're just too big. They're just too big, and they're always getting bigger. RPW says, I love when I tell a person something you preach, says it's a bunch of crap, and then they try it and feel amazing. Told you so. Yeah, bro, you imagine how it feels to be me, right? I sit here all day long and I just look at people. I'm like, that's not going to work. That stupid keto. Remember keto? Fuck, man, I used to get blasted by all the keto assholes. They're not following keto no more. I'm like, that shit's not going to work. You're going to stop following a short period of time because it's not going to work. Fuck you, Dolce. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just worried because your diet's going to, disappear. You're worried because new competition's around. I'm like, there's no competition for us because all you assholes who go on keto, you're going to come to me when you're done. It's guaranteed clientele. All these fad diets out there. So I'm with you, man. It's funny to see. RPW. Sydney says Dave found a doctor who supported his level of willful ignorance in his own health. I agree. And most doctors do that. They practice by the numbers. They look at you. All right. So bang, they come, they bang, you come in, they look at your healthcare. They say, all right, what is their healthcare offer? What can we bill here? What can we charge here? What can we get out of the healthcare company before the healthcare company starts pushing back, right? What healthcare do you have? Let's look at the healthcare do you have. Let me see. This is what the front office does. Let's see what we can bill your healthcare company for every year. And guaranteed, your doctor will push you towards all the tests and all the appointments that the healthcare company, your health insurance company, will cover without the extra script, without the extra work on their side. They're just trying to run up that bill. It's like the waiter who comes in, oh, can I fill that glass for you? They're not being friendly. They're charging you $12 every time they tip that glass, right? That's all they're doing. That's what doctor's offices do. That's what good doctor offices do when it comes to monetization. But it doesn't mean they're helping change lives. Jenny says, as a type 1 diabetic for the last 23 years, I have yet to have a good experience with a dietitian who could help me with my fitness gains and proper nutrition. Thank you for being proactive, Jenny. I'm so happy to hear that. And as I said, every industry has those jerks out there, has those idiots out there. Every industry. Jenny, I would suggest you look for a dietitian who actually has diabetes themselves. And there are a few out there. I know we had some that were part of our team when we were in Vegas. I could put my feelers out and see if we have any inside of our network right now. Hing Young says, hey, you are amazing. F you, Hing. I appreciate that, Hing. Thank you. Brian says, man, Uncle Mike, it's like you are a mind reader. I literally calling my doc today to set up a wellness checkup. Can you talk about blood tests a bit? Are there specific tests that test for specifics? Yeah, Brian, good for you. Everyone take Brian's lead. Call your doctor today. Set up that wellness test. Get your blood work done. There is different blood tests that are done based upon age, right? 30, 35, 40, 45. And the older you get, the more comprehensive the tests get. In general, we all want to get a cholesterol panel. We all want to get our cholesterol checked, our triglycerides, our HDL, or LDL. We want to know where we are at. We all want to get our A1C levels checked and see where our blood sugar's at. We all want to get our thyroid tested and make sure our thyroid is operating optimally. We all want to get our basic blood panel, our uh, white blood cells and our red blood cells and coagulation and all of that. We want to get our basic minerals tested, our iron tested. If you can drill a little bit deeper into a more comprehensive vitamin and mineral panel, I would strongly suggest that. Many healthcare companies do cover it. You have to ask your doctor for that. Hormone panel is very important. Testosterone free test, total test, estradiol, estrogen. Ladies, of course, getting their estrogen tested is very important. Those are the big ones. Those are the ones that we pretty much start with and want to look at the general baselines. Guys, as you go on, 30 years old, I suggest guys start looking into their PSA just to make sure their prostate is operating optimally. And then from there, I'd say just lean on your doctor a little bit, but your doctor's going to have a basic pattern of what they test for. And I always ask my doctor to test everything. The more data, the better. And I'm happy to pay. For me, I'm happy to pay a little bit of extra money to get some of the extra ancillary tests. The vitamin mineral test certainly is sometimes some doctors or health insurance allows it, some doesn't. But we actually, because of that, we work with a in-home blood testing company called Let's Get Checked. To share this right now, not really plugging it, but to share it on the topic, you can go to letsgetchecked.com/Dolce. Use promo code Dolce to save 20 to 40% off your entire purchase, which is fucking incredible. Let's get checked.com/Dolce. They have a COVID-19 test. All the tests I just said, hormone panel, cholesterol panel, A1C, PSA, vitamin D. I mean, syphilis, gonorrhea. You want to get some STDs checked because you guys are savages. Feel free. All at letsgetchecked.com/Dolce, promo code Dolce. Do check that out, though. It's delivered to your house. Bang, you order today, it's delivered like first day, second day delivery, bang, comes to your house. Free delivery, by the way. You open it up. I got to have some of the kits in here. Open it up. It looks like it came from Apple. It's like an Apple product. You step into your bathroom. It takes 2 minutes. It's a little pinprick. You put it in the vial. You close it back up. You put it on your front porch. The UPS driver comes back, picks it up. They bring it there. 3 to 5 days. You get your results uploaded to your own personal app and dashboard on the website. It's insane how easy it is, really. What else we got? Jonathan, hey coach, I'm not seeing the results. Any ideas? Well, John, what are you doing? I need to hear a little bit more. Number one, have you gone to your doctor? Have you had a recent wellness test? Are you healthy? That matters. Not to be a doom and gloomer, but make sure you're healthy, running optimally. Do you have a thyroid issue? Many people, primarily females, by the way, they have underactive thyroid. They're running around, they're dieting their ass off, and they have a suboptimal thyroid function, which causes a series of health issues. One of which is stubborn weight reduction, in that the body doesn't lose weight. Jonathan, I'm not saying that's you, but I'm saying let's rule out any sort of health issue. Otherwise, are you following the plan as it's written? Are you exercising? Are you getting 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep per night? Are you minimizing all external stress in your life? Are you doing all the things that you need to be doing? Are you having a little snack here, a little snack there? One day good eating, one day a little bit off eating? Have you eliminated all the variables? That's very important. Angel says, F you, Uncle Mike. I work close with my doctors and dietitian due to my medical condition and still making gains following the Dolce principles. You're doing God's work, Uncle Mike. Thanks. Angel, brother, I really appreciate that, my friend. Thank you. That's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to help people. Can we just help people? That's all we're trying to do. So, Angel, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for being here. Brian says, also, I'm 18 days as a non-smoker. Hell yeah, Brian. Good for you. I've completely changed my diet and can't get enough of your content. Thank you, brother, for all you do. Brian, thank you so much, my friend. I'm so proud of you, so happy to be in your corner and walking this journey with you. Let's keep going, my man. Eric says, hey, Mike, been a fan of you for such a long time. Been looking into your videos for ages. I train MMA and have big dreams of becoming a real big, but I struggle to know what to work out at the gym. I train 8 times martial arts a week. What do you think is the best way to work out in the gym? Thanks for the live stream. Well, that's a great question. 8 times of MMA, that's actually a pretty good schedule. There's 7 days you're training 8 times. We need at least one full day off. So you're training 2 on, 1 off, 2 on, 1 off. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 1 and 1. That's 8. I might pull back 1 or 2 of those 8 times and get a little more concise, because we have, you have your submission work, you have your wrestling work, and then you have your striking work. I would look to have a blend of 2 days or 2 sessions of each, which puts you now at 6 to be well-rounded, right? So now you have 6 sessions that you're getting 2 days of striking, 2 days of submission work, 2 days of wrestling work, and then you can get segmented into that specific work. That will add 2 days now of strength training. And I would do my strength training every 3rd to 5th day, maybe a Monday, Thursday, maybe Tuesday, Saturday. I do like a little of the strength training on a Saturday or Sunday, a traditional day off, maybe a Wednesday, Saturday. You break up the week. And I know a lot of athletes, they'll train like 2 a days Monday, 2 a days Tuesday. They'll do their strength work on Wednesday, 1 session. They'll go 2 days Thursday, 2 days Friday, and 1 strength session on Saturday, completely off on Sunday. That's actually a very good session. That gives you actually a little bit more of the MMA training, but I might pull that back. I might pull one of those sessions and look more for like a yoga or a stretch session as a supplemental, and look towards a recovery session, infrared sauna, cold water immersion, things such as that. Keep it up, Eric. Yusuf says, hey, coach, I appreciate what you're doing. What's the best way to work out and diet for a diabetic? Thanks so much. You're the best. Well, Yusuf, I do have to say, I am not a medical doctor, and this is not medical advice. Okay. So I need to be clear with that. And for everybody listening, to be clear, you must listen to your primary physician. You must be under a doctor's supervision, specifically if you do have a medical condition that's been diagnosed, such as that you, I appreciate you. What's the best way to work out and diet for a diabetic? Well, you said, so this seems like an open-ended question. You say, what's the best way to diet and work out for a diabetic? You didn't say you're a diabetic. In general, a diabetic will do very well following a healthful whole food diet, devoid of processed sugars, devoid of toxic synthetic chemicals. Does this sound familiar? Does this type of meal plan sound familiar? Does this sound exactly like the Dolce diet? Yes, it does. Diabetics do extremely well with intelligent exercise performed at proper volume and proper intensities that suits their medical diagnosis. Now, I have to say that because if you're an insulin-dependent diabetic, do not wake up and do a fasted lift, right? I mean, I know Jenny in here still. Jenny's probably laughing right now. I have diabetics that talk about that. They want to, Dolce, I'm a type 1 diabetic, but what do you think about me doing some like fasted sprint work? Like, oh, Jesus! Unless you're sprinting to the emergency room, maybe unless you're sprinting behind a paramedic, that would be the that's not even a funny joke here. But what my strong suggestion is, number 1, speak to your doctor, get a diagnosis, work under the supervision of your doctor. Number 2, establish a healthful whole food eating plan. You want to eat about the same size meals at about the same times of day with even intervals in between, because this builds predictability. Your life will be so much better if it's predictable. Now, I have close friends. I have some athletes that are type 1 insulin dependent diabetics, and there is no going back for them. What we've been able to do in time, if we've been able to dramatically reduce their dosages, We've been able to help them find optimal eating programs, optimal exercise programs, and optimize their body mass, making them less dependent on pharmacological intervention. Now, we do this in conjunction with their doctor's supervision. And again, that's very important here. So to close, much of what we suggest at the Dolce diet works extremely well for those who have blood sugar issues. It works as well for them as it does for those who don't. But we do need to have that special layer of medical care to ensure that you are not going past the fences to keep you safe along the way. I hope that helps you. I tried to give good information from an educational tone without being overly specific to your situation. Jenny says, I would love a personal recommendation from your team for a diabetic dietitian. I'm in the process of getting tested for celiacs or Crohn's and realize your program includes gluten-free options. Absolutely, we do, Jenny. Yeah, so I'll dig down to the team today or tomorrow. I'll find out a little bit more and see who we have. I know we have a good crew, so let me find out for you. Zach C says, what age can I do TRT? I want to follow my hero, Chael. That's actually super funny. And Zach C, thank you for the $2 super chat donation. That's always appreciated. Not necessary, always appreciated. So that being said, at what age can you do TRT? Well, at any age you can do TRT if it's medically recommended. Now, what age should you do TRT? As late as possible, as old as possible. But what you want to do and what I strongly suggest, that's why I talk about going to letsgetchecked.com/Dolce, promo code Dolce, and get their male hormone test. Get one of these tests a month, one of these tests per month, and test your total and free testosterone once a month. Same, like the first of the month, let's say, or the first Monday of the month, the first Wednesday of the month. That actually is a little bit better. So like the first Monday of the month, test your testosterone and see where it is. See what your total is, see what your free is, see what your estradiol is. And then in your dashboard, your personal secure dashboard on your mobile, on your tablet, on your laptop, you will actually see side by side comparisons of exactly where your test levels have been. Now, month to month, they might not change that month. Quarter to quarter, you might start to notice changes. Year after year, you're going to notice some pretty dramatic changes. Now we have a trend. With that trend, you can make in-house lifestyle decisions to help improve that, as I did. I saw that my testosterone levels were starting to plummet, especially when I was traveling so much. I was on the road 280 days a year. I was living in airports and hotel rooms. The more I would travel, the lower my testosterone dropped. And I could track that. I saw that. And then I made a very dramatic change to my lifestyle, mostly with regards to sleep and stress management, because I was already eating well. I was already exercising optimally, but I was super stressed out all the time because the nature of that job is just insane. And I was getting by on 5 or 6 hours of sleep. I made that a priority. And slowly, then we saw the other trend line start to lift back up again. So that's the honest answer, Zach. Get the blood work done. Your blood work is going to tell everything. Now, there's a lot of guys that they want to hop on TRT. They're 28 years old. They want to hop on TRT. So what happens? They stay up for 2 days straight, and this might suit you and your lifestyle, Zach. They stay up for 2 days straight. They don't sleep. They try and have as much consensual relations as they can. They work out a few times, balls to the wall, and then they go to their doctor and they get tested. Their testosterone's in the fucking toilet, and boop, and they're in. I'm not suggesting do that, but that's what most of the dudes out there do. I'd say make it very legitimate, very real, and let's really see where you are, because we're thinking long-term health here. Juan Francisco Giordana says, hey, Dolce, any thoughts on magnesium? Yeah, magnesium malate. Why do you think we suggest a 1 inch square of organic dark chocolate on our 3 weeks to shredded program? Do you follow our 3 weeks to shredded program? You should go to thedolcediet.com right now, and you should start our #1 rated 3 weeks to shredded program, or even our 3 weeks to shredded plus living lean bundle that you can get at a 30% discount right now at thedolcediet.com with my promo code shredded just for you. You'll see that we actually have 73% organic dark chocolate built into your shredding program. Why is that? Well, there's a few reasons. There's the social, psychological, emotional impact of eating, oh my God, delicious chocolate. There's the high net effect of the antioxidants that do come in this 73% or greater organic dark chocolate, but also it's the magnesium. That's why you see my athletes eating dark chocolate covered strawberries while cutting weight. Right? I'm managing the psychological and the emotional side. Oh my God, it's fucking delicious. And I put them in the freezer. You know, when you're cutting weight and your coach comes over with frozen chocolate covered strawberries, fucking holy hard on, Batman. Pardon my language, but still, it's like, are you fucking kidding me? This is amazing. Well, that's one of my go-to little life hacks, and you don't have to take a supplement. No pills, no powders, no potions. Just go have a little piece of dark chocolate. Ding. Zach C just got a 40-pound 511 tactical vest from Rogue for distance runs. Any other weighted vest suggested exercises? Bro, that's gangster. That 40-pound vest is no fucking joke. 20-pound vest will get you. The one thing I'm going to say, Zach, is make sure your running shoes, I would strongly, if you're wearing that 40-pound vest, I'm going to strongly suggest you look for a thicker pair of running shoes due to the force impact. Every footfall that you have is going to dramatically increase the force that transfers from the ground through your skeletal system, through your soft tissue system. A lot of the athletes I know that run with the vest, it's great in some ways. But at the same time, it does have a very profound impact on force. And that is actually transferred to soft tissue, joints, ligaments, and to your bones even. So be careful. A lot of my feet fucking hurt. Low back issues. So really be prepared to focus on the footfalls, proper cadence, on the gait, the way in which you actually run, locomotion, the way you move your body while wearing that. So start slow, man. What I would suggest, Zach, this might not be why you purchased it, but it very well may be better for you. I would suggest if you're going to wear that 40-pound vest, I'd recommend off-terrain walks and hikes. Instead of running with the vest on, I would suggest hike with the vest. Slower, dramatically less impact, less force, right, from those footfalls. Off terrain, so now you have to proprioception. Your feet actually have to look and grab on different pieces of the ground to help stabilize you, and you can actually look to improve joint stability that way. So now we can actually use that vest to improve joint health, soft tissue health, instead of the possibility of wearing it down. Just my suggestion, buddy. Brent, and exercises. So I'd say off-terrain work, hill climbing work, man. Like if you want to get fucking gangster, bro, do some bear crawls wearing that thing. Look for I live on the beach and we got these sand dunes. You know, there's sand dunes. They kind of wash them down during the summertime, which is a little annoying. But in the winter, fall and winter, they build up these massive sand dunes. I'll go out there with a weight vest on and I'll do bear crawls up and down these fucking nasty sand dunes. That's gangster. Like I almost throw up doing that, which is phenomenal. Body weight squats, push-ups, dips, all that good stuff. Chin-ups. That's, you know that though. Brendan says, hey, Mike, you met my girlfriend a few weeks ago at a little party. She told me a bit about you. Hopefully next time we'll be able to meet. That might be true, Brendan, but I can't recall in quarantine being at a party. Possibly. So it might be true. There was one neighborhood party. That could be it. That could be true because there was an individual who took a photo with me, even though all of their friends, and that was very nice. So, okay, that could be it. Right on. Nice to see you, man. Yeah, bro. And if you're around, man, let's get yoked, homie. Let's get a workout in. Hope time next we're able to meet. Yep, that's cool. I appreciate you, man. What else we got? Nick L says Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. exhibition announced. Thoughts? I I don't like the idea of 50-plus-year-old men getting punched in the skull after decades of getting punched in the skull. Call me crazy, but I ain't trying to get punched in the skull no more, and I'm not even close to their age, so I don't know, man. Scary stuff. Eric Linderson says, Mike, can't thank you enough for answering. Eric, I'm so happy. I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you. Stephen C says, hey, MD, I have some nerve damage that makes overhead presses painful. Any other options you suggest? My training is centered around barbell compound lifts. Stephen C., I appreciate you. Number one, go to your doctor. Get a medical diagnosis, please. If you have some sort of nerve damage, stop. Do not pass go. Let's get that treated. Let's get that diagnosed. Let's get that fixed, right? Let's rehab this area. Let's strengthen this area. Then we'll prehab this area, and then we'll worry about overhead lifts and all the other gains making stuff. Please go to your doctor, a competent doctor, someone who specializes. Go to your primary, say, this is what you got going on. You need someone who works with athletes, even if you don't compete, someone who works with athletes. Whatever, and I don't know what is a spinal specialist may be called. It could be an orthopedist. There's a few different areas that actual specialist could be, but get that diagnosis, get the specialist to take a look, and then work with a qualified physical therapist who actually works with athletes, also getting you to the best of your ability. I will not just give another exercise because that could harm you, and we want to get you better than ever, not just mediate the damage, my friend. Eric Linderson says, do you mean only 2 days of strength training? And as you said, I recovery day. What I feel clueless about is, what do I work out at the gym at the moment? I lift weights 4 days in a week, man. Lower upper body split. Do you have any tips of what I should focus on working at the gym, or should I stay upper body? I like that upper body push pull. I actually have a bunch of videos on this channel. Start going back through my catalog. You'll see, I see like the best program for muscle gain, or I talk about push pull system, full body system. There's a few. It's like me with a black background, and Dorian Yates's upper body's like behind me on the green screen. I have quite a few exercise, like workout videos dedicated to exactly what you're talking about. But in general, I like full body multi-joint compound movements. What does that mean? That means the standing barbell overhead press. That means a version of the barbell back or front squat. Even doing Zercher squats, I'm doing lots of those. So what do? We press, we pull, we hinge, we squat, and we rotate or resist rotation through the core. That's what the human body does. To sum it up, 5 basic things the human body does, and that's what we want to prescribe to. So standing overhead, military press, or a parallel bar dip, or a push-up, right? So we have a vertical push, and we have a horizontal push. So we're pushing up above our head, we're pushing down below us. So we have the military press, the dip, and then we have the blah, blah, blah. Then the horizontal, the push-up. I hate bench presses unless you're a power lifter. We have versions of the squat, which is basically bending at the knee, barbell back squat, front squat, goblet squat. I love these med ball squats, Zercher squats, holding a barbell in the crook of our arms, high box step ups, all of those great squatting motions. Pulling exercises. We have a bent over barbell, dumbbell, T-bar row. We have the overhead pull downs, right? Or overhead or chin ups, weighted chin ups work extremely well. And then we even can do like different versions of the face pull, but that's more scapular and prehab. We would put that into that box. We have hip hinge motions, which is a Romanian deadlift. It's a Zercher deadlift. It's a version of the good morning, a conventional deadlift, unilateral deadlift, kettlebell, trap bar, bang, 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 bang. So many different variants, deficit deadlifts. And then all sorts of rotational work. I just gave you a year's worth of a rotating training program. Pick one of those basic movements, plug it into 3-week cycles, hit them, 2 to 3 times per week. You're good to go, man. That's Gain City, baby. Eric says, answered that. Yusuf, okay. Caleb, been doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, sorry, phone's going to ring because I'm talking to you guys. Caleb says, actually, let me see that name. I see who the person is. Let me just type so they can know that I'm on here doing this with you guys. And hold on. All right. So, been doing the Monday, Wednesday, Friday full body workout for a while now. Bang. So, Eric, that goes back to your question. I am so sore the next day. I have to work out. I can barely move. Should I start taking 2 days off in between workout days? What I would personally do, and you could do that. You could take that extra day off. You could do that. What I would personally do is I would take an hour the day after your off day. I would spend that in my infrared sauna, cold water immersion. I would do a yoga session. I would go for a long walk or a hike or a swim or a bicycle ride. Active recovery, GPP, general physical preparedness. My days off are not days off. I have no days off. I had no days off ever, 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 ever. I don't take a day off from breathing, right? I don't take a day off from drinking water. I don't take a day off from using the restroom. Why would I take a day off from exercising? I don't take a day off from making money, right? Why would I do that? So I don't take days off, but I do change the modality. I change the intensity. I change the focus. I change the volume. So all of that being said, I would actually look for active recovery where I want to get good. Maybe you just spend 20 minutes doing a dynamic warm-up session followed by really good solid static stretching as a cool down, hop into a cold plunge, which could be just a general swimming pool if you have access to one. Maybe it's a cold shower. Maybe you just stand in your backyard with a cold hose and you just cool down that way. That's what I would suggest. Answered that. Zach C. Holla. Zach C. Hoka 1 Rincon is what I use for my vest runs. Okay. Hey, Brandon. Okay, it was the neighbor's party, brother. Right on, man. That's awesome. Brandon, too bad you weren't there, man. You said awesome things about you, and man, it'd be cool to meet next time. Next time you're around, my friend, it'd be cool. I'm assuming that you're an MMA dude also. So we're looking at. I actually might get some workouts going, not MMA workouts, but some conditioning workouts at the local park here in town, brother. So I don't know if you're probably a local guy. I'm assuming. So man, if you're around, bro, if you're on Instagram. Dude, just shoot me a DM on Instagram. Say hello so we're connected so we know each other, man. Officially, I'll do the virtual handshake and say hello. But we got some cool stuff going on in town. I sponsor some of the wrestling teams around here. So a bunch of the kids are starting to get together now. I say kids respectfully because I'm a little older than all you guys now. So everybody's a kid to me. I got some really cool group workouts if that's something you're down with. Also, we do some other cool stuff too. And I got this, awesome facility here in town. So, dude, shoot me an IG message. Anyone, of course, Brandon, of course, but anyone else who's in the New Jersey, Monmouth County region, just let me know. I got some cool private. So like kind of like private, semi-private, some like invite only, some of these workout sessions that we do. But man, I'll get, I'll usually cap it at about 30 people, right? Because it gets too crazy. So it'd be awesome. Anyway, nice to meet you, Brandon. Zach C. only bought the vest because it holds my 40 millimeter in the front pocket and has a Velcro patch for my Trump 2020. I figured, bro. I knew there was an angle. I knew there was an angle to it. That's awesome, my man. I don't know what state you live in. Back in Vegas, I could be running around. I had a really sweet hammerless 38 Ruger. That was fucking that's my favorite concealed carry. But here in Vegas, they're not in Vegas. In Jersey, it's a whole nother ball game. In Vegas, I used to sit with it on my desk because we had some weirdos that would walk into our facility to the point that we had to start locking our facility down. I think because people thought that there'd be famous people in there, right? And sometimes there were people becoming looking in the windows and just getting we had super creepers in there, and a couple kind of dangerous. We had a few I should tell the dangerous stories of Vegas back in those days. But there were shootings, man. And I lived in a nice area of Vegas, and our business was fucking in a great place, but it was craziness. Anyway. Here in Jersey, bro, everything's got to be in the lockbox, and the ammo's got to be in one. The ammo's got to be in New York. The fucking, the firearm has to be locked up in a box 30 meters under the ocean in your backyard. And in Jersey, it's crazy. Anyway. Pizzulo, damn, I missed 52 minutes of the live chat, bro. But it's okay. You're here. Steven C. should have mentioned I saw a doctor and was diagnosed with long thoracic paralysis, also known as winged scapula, have use of everything but occasional nerve pain. Awesome. Well, under a doctor's care, that's a great thing. The next step, I strongly suggest, and this nobody even I do this because I work with so many athletes and we work with so many college athletes. So we're very used to these protocols that average citizens maybe don't think of, and doctors certainly don't suggest it. But go to your doctor and say, hey, doc, write me a referral to work with a physical therapist. And you find the physical therapist that you want to work with and interview these individuals. And what I do is I call the local college. Say, what medical team, what physical therapist do you guys work with? Do your football, and what sport are you in? Right? Like if I got a knee injury, I'm going to call the soccer team, and I'm going to say, hey, coach, what physical therapist do your soccer players go to? Do your football players go to? Right? If I got a shoulder and elbow injury, I'm going to the baseball coach. That's just an easy way to get access to high level professionals. There's a bunch of physical therapists out there that all they want to do is work with athletes. Even if you don't compete, you don't have to compete. You just want to be an athlete in your own life. So, strongest ever recommendation. And I don't know if we've ever had one of our clients not have access to that. Tell your doc you want a referral to work with a physical therapist. You got this thing on. You can't lift your arms up over the head. You can't do the presses. You got something going on. If the doc says, hey, well, you're cleared to do everything. Cool, doc. I need to work with a physical therapist to correct this. That physical therapist, and if you were here in town, then I could, work with you, and we have some physical therapists around here. You need a hands-on practitioner to evaluate you and build you the plan moving forward, right? So as amazing as I am, I would be remiss to just throw out a couple exercises. I could do that. I could be like, oh, you need to be doing this, that, and the other thing. Here's 3 exercises. Look how cool I am. That's not doing you the best possible service. Doing you the best possible service is the advice I'm giving you right now. If that's me, if that's my family, if that's one of our blue chip athletes, I want a hands-on practitioner working with them, evaluating them, understanding exactly what's going on, watching the movement, and then able to prescribe exactly what exercises, scaled exercises you should be doing, while also teaching you how to do those. I guarantee you will get back into the gym the best you've ever been. You will start crushing PRs usually in just 3 to 6 weeks. Like 3 to 6 weeks with a highly competent PT that works with athletes. And I don't care. My not great grandmother, she was 89 years old. She had a knee and hip issue. We didn't send her to a granny PT. And there's a lot of those that specialize in the old people and just so they can get up and out of the chair. No, fuck that. We sent her to one of the college PTs who works with football players to rebuild her, right? You want to have full expression of every joint, every muscle in the full range. I'm maybe talking too long about this because most people don't. They just tell you 2 or 3 exercises and they move on with their little conversation. This is my strongest recommendation, my friend. That's what you should be doing. Pizzulo says, I'm sub, but didn't get the notification. Yeah, YouTube was tripping when I first, it's funny, man. Or when I first tried to run this video this morning or today, I logged in and I'm like, all right, do the thing. And here's the title. And I don't have any fancy, graphics. It's just going to be a photo of me. So it was me doing something hey, stupid. And it was and the photo didn't take. And I couldn't go live because there was no photo. It's retake your photo. I was like, motherfucker, different stupid photo, different stupid pose. Hey, retake your photo, the photo wouldn't be accepted. There was a glitch in the system. So some of you guys actually somehow could see that because it actually went live without me saying to go live. So then people there are watching me make these stupid, because I was just making stupid photos, just trying to get the goddamn thing to work, getting the thumbnail to work. So there might be a video floating around of me doing some stupid photo shoot. But I was flexing the guns there. So it was the gun show, and I won't even pay you admission to see it. What else do we got? Brandon, cool, will do. Sounds cool. All right, brother, right on. Corito says, ¿Qué pasa, tío Mike? Question. A YouTube guru said in one of his videos that flax seeds raise estrogen due to the high legan content. Any truth? No. Who is this YouTube idiot out there? Who's this YouTube guru wannabe? All's fools like that do is they take one teeny tiny little piece of information and they conflate it. And I bet he built an entire video around it. Probably does. Fool. Thanks for answering my previous question about magnesium. Any advice on how to know how much water to drink? I heard a previous video that you drink a huge amount of water. Juan Francisco Giordana says, well, typically we aim for approximately double the recommended average. The 8-ounce glasses of water, well, that was actually based upon a group of sedentary elderly individuals. And that 8-ounce glasses of day, well, that was the minimum requirement to maintain a sedentary lifestyle. That's not you. That's not me. So we double that. We want to take in approximately 4 liters of water, which is approximately 1 gallon, or it's at eight 1 pound, 16-ounce glasses of water per day. I drink anywhere between usually about 6 liters of water per day. It's 1.5 gallons. When I train, though, for an hour, I'll lose about 6 pounds in an hour of training. That's almost a full gallon. You have to be aware of that. Kelly says, Dolce, what is the best type of workout for firefighters? Steady state cardio, running, rowing, erg bike with hit resistance training. Kelly, I'd say, I got some friends that are firefighters. My father was a New York City firefighter. So I have a little bit of understanding. That shit's hard. And a lot of the firefighters out there, it's funny because firefighters, unfortunately, most of the firefighters I see are in better shape than law enforcement officers. That's not the way it should be. Our cops and our firefighters should look like college athletes, regardless of their age, because their lives and the lives of those they serve depend upon their health and fitness. Also, the amount of injuries are dramatic. Firefighters get hurt a lot. A fucking lot, all too much. So I'd say firefighters need to be cross-trained. I'd love to see good 30 to 45-minute low-intensity jogs performed, ellipticals. I really want to get that aerobic threshold pushed up a little higher. I do want to see unconventional style training. I want to see lots of med ball work, med ball throws, tosses, tire flips, things like that. More of the unconventional side, farmers walks, loaded carries. I want to see more Zercher squats than barbell squats. Really just kind of loading the spine and moving the body through multiple planes. Lots of pull-ups, lots of push-ups, lots of dips, lots of body weight work. You think more like a gymnast in many ways. So a very eclectic style of training. I do want to see absolute strength improvement, which is also important. So we do want to get under the barbell. I'd probably get them deadlifting more than I would get them barbell back squatting. I would have them do more of Zercher squatting, kind of loaded in the crooked barbell position, kind of loaded that way, and then heavier deadlifts, maybe some deficit deadlifts, and really kind of build this complete athlete. Firefighters, what they do is they're like superheroes. For those who don't know, it's not just a bunch of these sexy guys picking up chicks in New York City still, although they do that quite a bit. It's really hard what they do, especially when everything's on the line, and it might only happen a few times per year, but when it happens, lives are at risk, their life and those they are empowered to serve. So Kelly, great question, and I'm always happy to help answer more if you have anything. Zach C says, think of moving to the Vidara condos on the strip right next to the Cosmo. Maybe I will switch from a finance guy to a cabana pool boy and make huge tips from MILFs that hate their fat husbands. Brother, as a finance guy, you can actually, you're not going to have any problems. Oh, bro, you could be a homeless man in those leopard print Speedos, my brother. And you'll be, you'll be slanging that stuff anywhere you go. It's you don't need money in the bank, though you got it. And you don't need any little trick or gimmick. You just need to be rolling with that those tanned abs and the little leopard print sungas to get it done. Zach C's awesome. Ryan the Eyes, Uncle Joey will tell you where he's got machine guns hidden all over Jersey. I know, right? He may or may not have some buried in my backyard, but I plead the fifth on that. Colin says, what do you think about coiling? Can you be more specific? I may not understand that term. Colin says specifically for movement. I need a little more specific. Stephen C says, thanks, Mike. Appreciate the info. Of course, I appreciate you guys. Guys and gals, that's an hour and 5 minutes. An hour and 5 minutes here on the video answering every single one of your questions. I ask that if you're still here, just give this video a quick thumbs up. Go and watch yesterday's video of the mistakes you might be making in the gym. Just give that just click on it, give it a thumbs up. I'm just asking for some thumbs up so I know you're there. I know you care. And hopefully YouTube understands that we have a great community that pays attention to us. Whatever I can do to help you guys, that's what I'm here for. Tomorrow, new video coming out tomorrow on this channel. Make sure you check it out. It is my secret rehydration formula, what you should be drinking during your workout and what my world-class athletes drink as soon as they step off the scale. It is incredible. I break down the science, the exact ratio, how you can make it yourself, and what the impact will be if you do. It's freaking awesome. Kelly says, thanks, Coach, for answering my firefighter question. Currently, I'm doing the cardio mentioned above 5 days a week. How many days a week should I incorporate the HIIT cross training? Well, I like the low intensity, the high intensity to be a 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 2 low intensity days, I'll have a 1 high intensity day. Most people do too much high intensity, not enough low intensity. I want more lower intensity, building up the aerobic base. And then really, you don't need any more than 3 HIIT sessions a week. 1 HIIT session every 3rd day is ideal if you're doing it properly. You don't need to go that crazy that often, especially when you're training with resistance. Resistance training is a variation of HIIT. We call it HIRT, high intensity resistance training. If you're training with the proper intensity, there's a very similar metabolic effect to high intensity interval training. It's very similar. Because you do your set, your average set takes 30 to 60 seconds. The average rest period is approximately 60 seconds. So it's 60 seconds of exertion, 60 seconds of recovery. Whether it's with weights or on the assault bike, it's similar in many capacities. Very similar to each other, but also very dissimilar to lower intensity cardiovascular activity, what we call LIST, low intensity steady state cardiovascular activity. That is much better, that you can do that much more often. It is great as a recovery modality. Also, it is very important to improve your aerobic threshold, which improves your overall strength component and improves the oxygen, sending of oxygen to the working muscles. It improves sending of fuel substrates to the working muscles. Most people neglect that. We want you to do that more often. Pizzulo says, I've been dying to know who the prick fighter that didn't pay you. You're going to tell us it would be a perfect ending. Ooh, that was a nice try. No, I'm not going to I'm not that guy, but there's a bunch of prick fighters. That was just one story. I got some great stories. I'll start dropping more of those stories too. Yeah, I got a bunch of stories. I got more. I got so many of these stories about these prick fighters, you'd cry. They're such assholes. They're just greedy assholes, and their karma always comes through. Colin says, WEC method specifically. So I'm going to actually, I'll take a look at that. Colin, thank you for bringing it up. I'm just posting it here. So I'll take a look at that and learn. So the next time I do one of these Q&As, probably on Tuesday, I'll know more about it. Mike, cottage cheese and what brand? Yeah, a little bit of cottage cheese from time to time, but you'll notice cottage cheese makes a lot of people, this is anecdotal feedback, which matters, makes a lot of people get really phlegmy. Especially like if you're eating cottage cheese a few times per week, what we see is our endurance athletes and those who are performing, let's say HIIT training, they just produce a lot of phlegm, something to be aware of. I'm not a huge fan of it. Dave says, thanks, you got it. Barry Jones, looking lean and mean, Mike. I'm getting there myself. Thanks, Barry. I appreciate that. And yeah, Uncle Mike is woo, we got some things going on over here, baby. Yeah, it's time. I'm sick of all these, juiced up fools running around pretending like they know shit when they're just sticking needles into their asses to lean out. And they do a photo shoot over a few weeks, and then they go back to looking at just a big old puffy piece of Dianabol. So I decided it was time to just make a little bit of a change. So I don't like walking around too lean. I like myself to be more at like 11% body fat. I usually set a 12% body fat cap on myself. I was like, you know what? It's time for me to slowly take that down. And so I'll be walking around here at about 8% body fat soon. I've been getting, even during quarantine, I've been getting all my blood work done. I've been getting bod pods done up at the university, and I've been tracking what I've been doing. Also, some of you might have noticed because I've been able to bring my body weight down, I was able to start running again. So if you check out my Instagram page, I'm starting to post a little bit more of my runs and things like that. So you'll start to see that not long ago, I wasn't really able to run at all. Running just hurt my hip, hurt my knees, hurt my feet. Now that I brought my body weight down and I've been doing my lists for so long, now I'm moving my body in a much different way, much safer than I had previously been. Thanks, Coach. Stay safe. Kelly, thank you. You too. Lima says, is there a body weight program for 3 weeks to shredded? Actually, if you are a member of the online platform at thedolcediet.com, we have over 200 exercises in our resource section. Many of those exercises are body weight specific exercises or very light weights, 5-10 pound dumbbells like unilateral single leg deadlifts, things such as that. Body weight is not necessary. I say you can grab a 16-ounce bottle of water, a gallon of water, whatever it might be. We do have many body weight exercises as a part of our 3 weeks to shredded program at thedolcediet.com. You can sign up right now today for a 30% discount with promo code shredded. This is the #1 rated online weight loss platform. You can lose 21 pounds in 21 days on 3 weeks to shredded. Many of our clients and pro athletes do. Results may vary based upon how much weight you actually have to lose. Some people don't have that much weight to lose, and that's fine, but they get super crazy shredded. We have lots of bodybuilders now and bikini competitors now. It's crazy. Over the last year and a half, started following our program to look fucking bodybuilding bikini ready, but to feel fucking amazing, because they're like, why are all these MMA athletes look as good as we do on stage and they can go out there and fight for 25 minutes when I can't even fucking walk up a flight of stairs? It's because of the nutrition. So there you go. Mohammed says, I have push day today. I love your recommendation. Standing overhead press and weighted dips on the menu. Hell yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Lima, bang. Appreciate the correction. Carito, die big, die young, Dianabol, right? That's an old school t-shirt. Guys and gals, it's an hour and 12 minutes. I'm doing this live, free Q&A here. Thank you guys all for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure to check out the new video tomorrow on my rehydration formula. Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at The Dolce Diet on Instagram. Feel free to DM me there. I'd love the DMs. It's like you have my personal text message. And until next time, boom.